Hello and welcome everyone, my name is Andy, and you might know me from my two YouTube channels, Andy's Paradox and Andy's Take, where I'm known for covering Paradox and Total War games respectively. Today, I'm collaborating with Paradox to explore the Ascension Paths of the Machine Age DLC, as we've previously covered the 3 Ascension Paths of the Biogenesis DLC. Contrary to Biogenesis and the Biomorphosis Ascension perk, the Machine Age paths offered by the Synthetic Age perk concerns machine civilizations in Stellaris, so if you wish to embark on the following journey, you need to let go of the flesh and embrace the machine. First of all, just like with Biomorphosis, our Machine Ascension paths are attained through the relevant Ascension perk, in this case Synthetic Age, and are only available once you have completed 2 prior Ascension perks and the tradition of your choice, which only becomes available once the transformation situation has been completed. In other words, if you want to ascend, focusing on increasing your unity levels is the way to go, which you can do among other things by choosing a corresponding form of government or building relevant buildings on your planets. The transformation situation differentiates between 3 ascension paths, and as a machine civilization, you may transform through either modularity, virtuality, or the nanotech paths, each one providing you with completely different playstyles. In this video, we are exploring the nanotech tradition, which brings with it a vastly different way of organizing planets and fleets. You see, as an artificial intelligence network, we're just built different. Our population is built, not grown, and yet we must chart the galaxy like everyone else. However, we're not only charting things here, no, we're seeking to dominate. But as luck would have it, we're kind of bordering some of the galaxy's most powerful empires, but also a decadent one. In order to feel safe, it's important to arm ourselves the right way in order to not just be able to defend our space, but also subsume the lesser powers around us. Resources are always an issue, but we're playing the long game here, because once we begin our transformation, nanotechnology will completely alter how we build and thrive. To get there though, we must pass through the various stages of transformation, deciding as we go how many resources we dedicate to the fields of modularity, virtuality, and nanotech. Contrary to Biomorphosis, the options in transformation mostly determine the speed at which the various stages are completed, and the amount of resources we spend to get there. By choosing nanotech as our tradition, we have chosen a new way of life. You see, taking advantage of our newfound technology isn't as easy as you might think, because to build entirely new spaceships built on nanotechnology, we require nanite, a resource that isn't really available by regular means. No, to truly make use of this ascension, we must prioritize finishing the nanotech tradition, because by doing so, we can start producing nanite in 2 ways. The first is to make use of the nanite harvesters on space stations around the galaxy, which will harvest nanite from every non-mineral producing celestial body in the system. In other words, try to find systems with a lot of resourceless planets for maximum effect. The other way to produce nanite is to create nanite worlds through the decision of subsume world. This essentially terraforms a planet to one of nanite, and means that once the process is complete, agri-drones and mining drones will produce nanites as part of their other extractions. This is how, despite beginning with no production of nanite, we can produce nanite at a galactic scale. Now you might wonder, why would we do that? Well, nanite can be used for 2 very useful things in particular. The first is to power nanite research complexes, which uses nanite to massively boost your physics, society, and engineering research. This has the potential to supercharge your research sector and make you a technological giant. But the second ability is just as much fun, if not more. You see, through a one-time fee of nanite, you may build ships exclusively out of the resource. Not only are they powerful and become more powerful over time, but listen to this. Ships made out of nanite costs nothing to upkeep. That's right, nothing. This means that if you're daring enough and you choose to completely pivot away from regular ship technology to nanite ships, you may produce a fleet that completely ignores not just ship upkeep, but also naval capacity. Sure, it costs 500 nanites apiece for a regular swarmer, but that means nothing when you're producing nanite at a scale and have several 100,000 of them, with millions more on the way. In other words, you will become the swarm with an unstoppable fleet of nanite ships, because yes, fleet capacity is just a number. Of course, it is important to remember that to make enough nanite over time, having a large starbase capacity is crucial, since more starbases around mineral-less systems means more nanite. As such, choosing an Ascension perk like Grasp the Void, which provides 5+ starbase capacity and interstellar dominion, is very useful. It's also worthwhile to remember that the nanite swarm ships are essentially glass cannons, so we are prioritizing strength in numbers and firepower here, long range preferably, to stay out of the range of opponents for as long as possible to begin with. Of course, we have more than one nanite ship to choose from, like the Nanite Interdictor, which is a true nanite warship with an appropriate increase in cost. But well, if you have hundreds of thousands of nanite, which you will have if you follow the tips in this video, my friend, building the interdictors is a no-brainer. And now, as an ascendant nanotech-based machine civilization, you may enjoy your massive upkeep-less fleet, a host of technological innovation, and a galaxy built around your ever-growing need for nanite. Thank you so much for watching, and for joining this trip through the wonders of nanotechnology. Next time we'll take a look at the modularity tradition, but for now, make sure to subscribe to this channel for all things Stellaris, and on behalf of Paradox Interactive, I am Andy from Andy's Paradox, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!